Good afternoon from Los Angeles and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alyssa Corum here with Ken Shreve, and on the show today we're going to be talking about Square as well as AMD and Netflix. Some positive chart action there. But first, let's take a look at the major indexes. The Nasdaq was able to close at session highs, up about 0.5%. The S&P 500 edging into positive territory at the end of the session, and the Dow looks like it was able to close around the flat line here. So a nice upside reversal today, especially for the Nasdaq.
Yeah, I think overall a very positive session for the stock market. We're going to get a close near highs for the Nasdaq composite, and close well off lows for the S&P 500 and Dow Jones today. So overall, a great session. We had some chip stocks outperforming in the Nasdaq, software stocks outperforming, and a lot of movement among the FANG stocks as well.
That's right, which we will get to here in a minute. But let's start with a look at Square, which broke out today. A 6.3% gain in heavy volume here. And this is the first breakout for Square in a while, rising on positive commentary from Raymond James.
Yeah, nice move over a 74.65 buy point here. Looks like the stock closed around 78, so it still looks to be in that 5% buy zone. This was a stock that was very, very weak starting in October last year. CFO left the company. Market got very worried about that and what it meant possibly for future growth. But despite a sharp sell-off that started in October, Square has always maintained an outstanding fundamental picture. So it's always been a high multiple stock, but it really churns out strong growth quarter after quarter. Still has very solid estimates. So overall, a bullish move for Square today, and definitely a good day for the stock.
Yeah, and I think seeing it breaking out from this earlier stage base is something to really underscore here, because we do want to be focusing on stocks that are in their early stages of their runs. Once you start seeing those later stage breakouts, they have a lower likelihood of success.
Yeah, and we have to remember that Square debuted in November 2015, and it really has broken out of a series of bases over the past few years. And when the stock pulled back in October, that pullback from high to low was about 50%. So there were a lot of sellers that got shaken out of that stock. So I think the latest breakout is, definitely first stage, and
resetting the deck here, possibly.
Yeah, resetting the deck, and I don't think it might not be too late with Square. So still outstanding fundamentals.
Yeah. Well, turning our attention to advanced micro devices in the semiconductor sector, it gained about 3.5% today, extending its gains. A price target hike from Nomura, maintaining its buy rating, but they hiked their price target to 37, and it's now trading around the $33 mark. Now, initially, this had a really strong breakout, but I think scared a little people here.
They're trying to wear people out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so definitely a good day for advanced micro devices. This is a leaderboard stock, part of the leaderboard portfolio at investors.com. And the company also announced some new products over the weekend. Patrick Seitz, our semiconductor reporter, noted that some new processors and graphics cards. So this company is really competing well with NVIDIA in the high-end PC gaming market, and still a lot of optimism around AMD, and good to see the stock perking up today. Volume was light, but higher than Monday, and it's getting close to that recent high of 34.30.
That it is, and we also want to take a look at Netflix today, which looked like it was going to log a considerable gain today early on, but it faded by the end of the day, closing up about 1%. But attention on Amazon now, given that it's Stranger Things Season 3, an explosive debut for that. So it's going to take original content like this and more of it to sort of quell those concerns about competition from Disney+.
Well, apparently 40.7 million households have tuned in to Stranger Things since it launched or debuted on the 4th of July holiday. Got to say, kind of a disappointing performance for the stock today. It briefly popped over a 386.09 buy point, and really shout out to other FANG stocks like Facebook and Amazon, which also cleared buy points. Both of those stocks actually closed near their highs, but Netflix faded a little bit. It's still technically pretty healthy here, along with a lot of other stocks in the market. So we'll see if it can eventually take out that 386.09 buy point. Volume was pretty light in all three of the FANG stocks that actually crossed buy points today: Netflix, Amazon, and Facebook. But good to see the FANG stocks coming back to life.
That's right, and it looks like Netflix's next quarterly report is coming up here shortly, so maybe they'll have something to say about this Stranger Things debut and how that's really impacting people maybe coming back or subscribing to the service.
Yeah, it's Netflix is actually one of the first companies to kick off second quarter earnings season. So we'll see what the numbers look like, and overall, I got to say, a pretty positive day for the Nasdaq and stock market in general.
Yes, that's right. All things are looking good right now, but of course, it's important to tune in daily because that could all change.
Yes, yep. The headlines can be volatile, but we've got the kind of the trade war on the back seat right now. We do have Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is going to be testifying in front of Congress on Wednesday, so we'll see how the market slices
Reacts
and dices that. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. And of course, you can always check out more of our content at investors.com and across social media, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. So make sure you are following and subscribing for all the latest. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.